Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Sorry I'm on a little late, but I had a hard time getting my live streaming going through another thing that I had, and it just went to kaput. So sorry to all of you that are not here yet. Anyway, it's good to be live. Let's see about some of the things we've been talking about. Now, the last video that I did on who or what is God, I thought was a pretty good idea, because a lot of everybody, you just don't know who God is, really. I mean, in essence, who you really are. So it was an important topic. I know it was short and sweet, but, in reality it is, who are you? Who is God? Who is God? What is God? Anything like that. So, the question is, do you really know who you truly are? Do you know who your Father is, who God is? And most everybody don't, because I got a lot of questions like, can you talk about the second coming of Christ? And, I just smiled and I said, in my video about the greatest lie ever told was, the Bible isn't real. It's not. It was made up by a bunch of scared men 2 millennia ago, and Jesus was basically rewritten out of the Bible. So how can there be a second coming of Christ when that's never going to happen, when it was all a lie, right? So there is no book of Revelations. That just proves that God is a human God, right? A vengeful God, a hateful and spiteful God, where he's just waiting up there with a bat to beat us all, and oh, you were good, you did absolutely nothing, and no, that's not how it works. It's not how it works, everybody. We are all one. And I know that's a generic statement, but to say that we are anything but, well, what does one encompass? Everything that is in existence that you see, suns, stars, black holes, dark matter, gray matter, whatever, it doesn't matter. You are everything that has ever existed. And there is no way that you could possibly separate yourself from oneness. That's part of the illusion in the game, everybody, right? Is when we decided to somehow say we want more. Well, what's more? Well, we wanted to know more than just love. That's all we are, is love, light, and energy. We are the epitome of our Father. Our Father, God, Source, whoever you want to call him, or, there is no gender, I'm sorry. So when I say Father, it was because in my own NDE, I felt like I was his one and only son. Okay, the love that was adorned onto me through my Father, through Jesus, was something none of you can possibly understand. You are all woefully unprepared for what you are about to experience and feel. That love does not exist here. It exists within us, not these bodies, okay? As I said this before, everybody, you are not your body, okay? It is simply a vehicle you use to get around in this low density, low vibration reality that we're in. That's the only reason we can get around in here. We cannot get around or survive or live in this realm. It's physically impossible. Okay, so what do we use? We create these. Right now, all of you beautiful beings watching me are creating your avatar as we speak. So if you're not happy with it, change it. How do you change it? Through love, ladies and gentlemen. Love conquers everything. It shatters and crushes the darkness. It lifts people up. It cures your sickness and health, and it will eventually kill the ego. Okay? So when you're, like I said, when you're sitting there, and it's like today, I had a bad day at work, okay? I had a bad day. And the old Jason would have freaked out, flipped out, and, gave everybody the bird and said, I'm out. It was a mild thing, got a little bit irritated, but I was like, you know what? I'm truly blessed, So, and in that aspect, I can feel my love, and I can feel, It's about love, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only thing that matters here in this matrix, this dream, okay? We're all at home right now. None of us have left home, which is, I don't want to say heaven, because heaven is not our home. It's just something that we've all been told through the millennia of, where we come from, which isn't true. We are incredibly powerful, divine beings, gods, ladies and gentlemen. When I say gods, it's because I'm using 8 billion people. If I were to say, who are you, Jason? I'm God. That's absolutely correct. And to all that are listening, you are God, okay? You hold the power that Jesus had when he was here. The reason Jesus was picked was simply because he was further up the ladder, okay? And I found out some pretty good information a couple weeks ago that I haven't shared with you. Is my time incarnating, and it was just a spiritual thing that happened to me, was as I was sitting here and I was manifesting and I was meditating and I was done, and all of a sudden this feeling came over. It was like a vacuum went and everything went silent. My lips started tingling instantly. I started feeling lightheaded. And I was like, what the hell was that about? And I figured that I had just entered another realm. I rose up the ladder quite a bit, okay? So my physical world, I am changing in front of me through my thoughts, through my actions of love, all right? So I'm climbing up the ladder, but was also given to me, and it was kind of an ominous feeling. It was a true feeling, and it was backed up by a medium who contacted me a couple days later, and I told him the experience, and I said, I have a funny feeling that I'm not incarnating much anymore. And I said, I'd say maybe under 10 incarnations. And they said, I agree. And, that's a pretty profound thing, ladies and gentlemen, that, I have been walking this earth for 20,000 plus years, helping people. When I asked somebody that was, a little higher than me in the knowledge, and I said, what the hell does ancient mean? I said, when I had my second out of body experience, I was told that I had, died over 3,200 times. Now, probably the first 200 to 400 lives were often other worlds, other planets where I'm still connected to home. Because pretty soon Earth is going to no longer be a free will planet, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming to an end, and that's what this transition into 5D consciousness is about right now. All right, as we are evolving as a species, okay? And let's talk about that for a minute. What are we really doing here, right? We're not in our true state of form, which is basically like, hi, hon, how are you? I love you too, sweetie. Thanks for showing up. Where was I? So, what are we doing? We're populating a species, right? So it's like a symbiotic relationship. We're creating this avatar. So like in the movie, remember Avatar? When he finally lay down in the bed, you saw his consciousness go through, right, the tube and whoop, into the avatar. And all of a sudden, Avatar wakes up. It's no different than us, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we get here, through a different realm. We come, whoop, whoop, and, into this vehicle we go. We are not defined by our bodies, okay? Do not think of yourself as male or female. We are not. We are genderless. Same thing as God. God is genderless. Love, light, and energy, like my channel, right? Love, light, and Jason. That's what we are. That's what I emerged as when I left my body. I was pure energy, pure consciousness, and I was never more alive in death, which I don't like using that word because we never die. It's simply a transition. That I was more alive there, home, and I instantly knew where I was. So the light was me. When I say I was ensconced in this light and love, I was home. I merged with me. I'm God, as you are God, or all of you listening are gods. When you transition home and you feel that love and you see that light, you are returning to oneness. So when I say I was one with everything, like I did in my video, the first one about my NDE. I said I was one with everything. Well, I'm assuming you all know what that means, right? You don't. You are everything that has ever existed. All right? So I see that we have some beautiful people in here. Awesome. If there's something you guys want to talk about, put it in there. Let's talk about it. I'm happy to see you guys. So let's see what we got here. Live chat. Let's see. Oh, there we are. All four. What's up, brother? It's been a while. It has. How you doing, buddy? Let me get back there. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Hi, all loves and light tonight. So you guys ask me a question. What do you guys want? Hi, hon. Anything you guys want me to talk about for now? Oh, that's what I was talking about. I'm sorry. The book of Revelations. I was asked to do a video on that. Okay. Again, we're talking about you all thinking that there is a human God. Okay. We are all unlimited. We came here in this realm to discover ourselves. Well, what is that we're trying to discover? What Jesus was teaching 2 millennia ago. And what Jesus was teaching everybody was who you are. He was saying, wake up, everybody. That's what I'm telling you right now. What's the point of being here? It's to find your divinity, to find your power. Jesus had it in the back of his mind that, look, people, look, everybody, you're no different than I. And this is how you do this. This is how you find who you are, your power, okay? We all have the power to do what Jesus did. Heal the sick. I'm beginning to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Last 2 weeks ago, I cut my hand pretty deep at work, pretty deep. I mean, it probably required stitches. And it was bleeding profusely for a few hours. And within 3 or 4 days, my finger was completely healed. Completely healed. We have the same powers. It's within us. Near future. Well, ladies and gentlemen, how many lifetimes before we go home? Like I said, I have very few left, probably under 10 lives. We're all still home, guys, okay? This is nothing more than a dream. Remember what I said about fear. Where did fear come and guilt come from, right? When we had the crazy idea being home, right? And, you know, knowing nothing but love and light and all of this good stuff, we wanted more. What else is out there? So we decided, I guess I'll just go to sleep and I'll make some stuff up. Well, in order to do that, you still have to talk to Dad, okay? You still have to stand before Father. And our Father's undying love for us said, you want to experience these things? No problem. Okay, why? Unconditional love, a love that all of you are unprepared for, okay? So that's where you step in and say, this is what I want to experience. How do we experience this? Well, you go through with your guides, you sit down with your archangel, and you create a blueprint for the things that you want to experience. Some of you guys don't like cancer, being raped, you know, being beaten up, all of these things that you want to experience. Why? Because that's the ego talking. Well, if you want to learn more about your lifetimes, you have to go within. Everything you have is within you. And I'm not talking this body, it's within you. You have to, and I didn't want to do this at first, guys. I didn't. You have to meditate. How do you meditate? You got to find a quiet spot. You have, and I'll cuss here and I'm sorry, but you've got to tell the ego, because he's going to be in your mind because he knows what he's doing, and he's going to try and stop you from connecting to yourself. So he's going to pop up, you're going to start to itch, you're going to start singing song. He's going to throw every roadblock in front of you, and that's okay. It takes time. All right? So when you meditate, you still yourself, you quiet your mind, you quiet your spiritual mind and your physical mind. You tell the ego to go to hell, and you sit there and you, whatever it is, heart and mind are one, Father and I are one. Start with something simple, make it last 10 or 15 minutes. Because the non-physical is paying attention to you guys, okay? They see that you are trying to connect to them, to have a conversation, to find out about your past lives, to find out everything, okay? And they are going to come rushing to you. They're going to whisper to you. They're going to talk to you in your dreams. They're going to send you information during the day while you're sleeping. The most information you get is between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. When you are in your deepest sleep, you are relaxed, there's no ego, and they come to you. You may have dreams. You wake up and go, what the hell was that? Or why am I thinking about this? It's because you are starting to tell them, I want more. I want more. I'm not settling for this anymore. How do I get there? And it is through commitment, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus left at an early age. He left Mary. He traveled across North Africa through the caravans. When he ran out of money, he worked. He built bathrooms, toilets, poop houses. He loaded and unloaded ships, made some money, kept moving. He got to India, and there he learned from the masters. In Eastern religion, it's widely known that I could teach you guys, if you want some more practice, you would have to sit with me on a one-on-one because, I just found a situation that worked for me. But Jesus learned that from the East, and he brought that back. And that is where he really found his powers. He really found his energy. He found himself. Now, he had guidance from the non-physical, okay? Constant communication. They were talking to him, and he was having a conversation like I am with you, all right? And he was being led to where he needed to go. Regardless, out east, in the East, he found himself. He found out who he truly was. And he came back and he started to teach that to the disciples, right? He taught it to Mary, taught it to his children. But what he was doing, and what you don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, is he was breaking the law, okay? He was breaking the law at the time. And the Pharisees didn't like it. The Romans feared him. Why? He was doing more with love than they could do with the sword. They were terrified. Will this live channel become a video to watch again? I feel it was. I hope it is, because it looks like it's being recorded right now. So I will post this for an upcoming video for sure. Absolutely. So Jesus taught everybody that wanted to learn how to become him, how to open up or awaken, to realize and wake up, who are you? This is who we are. And he was teaching that. Some people would come into his home and were like, no, I can't do this, because they knew they could be killed, right? Jesus knew. He knew 2 years before he was going to be killed, how he was going to die, and that was that, Imagine that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you found out tomorrow in 2 years, this is how you're going to die, would you be okay with that? That'd be a little rough, all right? So he was teaching that, and he was teaching everybody who they are. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you. So that's what he was teaching, and that's why he was put to death. Jesus was put to death as a common criminal. That's it. He broke the law. And the worst punishment a Jew could get 2 millennia ago was to be crucified. End of subject. But his mission was to awaken us, wake up and realize who you are. You are a divine being of immense power and love and light. And when I left my body in my death, that was it. That's exactly what I was. I was juiced, I was young, I was powerful, I knew where I was. How is that possible if I've never been there before? But it was like putting on an old pair of shoes. So, anyway, what else have you guys got for me? We talked about, there is going to be no book of Revelations. There is going to be no, chosen people. Like, you're good enough, you're not, you're good enough, that's not going to happen. We are all going home. There is no book of Revelations. There is no second coming. The earth is going to, well, there's about 5 different earths out there right now, each of them in a different dimension with, with a level of difficulty. And right now we are at the hardest place that we can be at, so, what does that say though? That says that we were chosen, handpicked by our Father, by God, to be here during this brutally important time. Through this transition from going into 3D into 5D consciousness. So we're evolving this species of humanoid into a higher level of consciousness. Yes, in the afterlife, you create what you want instantly. Say there was a lake, but you wanted to see the mountain on the other side of the lake. You just have to say, I want to be on the mountain. And you are instantly on the mountain. When Jesus said, I am the Father, when I said all that I am you, that's what he's saying. You have to remember when Jesus was speaking, could you imagine him here now in modern times? He would get a lot more done, but regardless, you have to remember back two millennia ago, I don't want to say this the wrong way, but people were ignorant. Most people couldn't read or write, right? They could listen, they could hear somebody speak, but most couldn't read or write. They were simple shepherds or farmers, right? That, from the time they could walk, were out in the fields helping dad or mom in the kitchen or whatever. So when Jesus spoke, he spoke in parables. Why? They needed to understand what he was talking about. He had to put it in the form of a story so they could actually understand what he was trying to say. And that's why he spoke the way he did. If he were to come today, it would be a completely different story. He'd be able to sit here and talk to us, without fear of the church killing him. So he had to speak that way for those 2 very reasons. One, the absolute ignorance of everybody, that was around at the time. And, he had to play it safe. He had to kind of be in between the spaces so, he wouldn't be recognized. Well, eventually, he was, and, he was murdered for it. He taught the disciples, go out and heal, right? They were terrified of that very prospect because he taught them how to do the same things. He taught them to find themselves. And that all came crashing down and they left when he died because he got too scared. That's correct. The void is simply pure consciousness, okay? There's no physical realm that we're in anymore. So when you enter the void and you're in that utter blackness, right? Like I was through my first out-of-body experience, when I went through the tunnel that I was talking to you guys about. When I entered the void, it's pure consciousness. So if I wanted to think of a giant caramel, waterfall, a giant caramel waterfall would have instantly appeared in front of me. So yes, when you think of home or heaven or whatever, the void, it instantly appears in front of you because it's pure consciousness, okay? And that's what you are, pure consciousness. You're not being held back in a physical realm through a physical body with the ego, right? Now you are truly you. So if you want to think of puppy dogs and kitten cats are going to come. But if you're scared, like most people are of the dark, right? Like if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, Saturday, and you wanted a pizza and it's a stormy night, right? And all of a sudden you were halfway down the stairs, lights went out, door slammed shut. Are you going to be, yay? No, you're going to go, and you're going to stand still. Well, your heart's going to start racing at 1,000 miles. Why? How many times have you walked into that basement? It's still the basement, right? But you're creating fear, right? So when you create the fear in the void, it instantly comes. All right, it will instantly come. And when you create fear, you create what you guys would call demons. Okay? They don't exist. You are extremely powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Your thoughts, spoken or unspoken, create your world. Right now, when you look out your door or your window, that is exactly what you are creating back home. Okay? Now, through this avatar, the part of you that is actually here, right, driving this avatar, this vehicle, is what? That's a good question for you guys. What part of you is actually inside this vehicle? Throw it in the comments. Let me see what you got. What's driving this vehicle right now? Some part of us has got to be here, otherwise this thing would just lay on the ground and not move. So what part of us is actually here? That's a question for you guys, so let's see it. Light it up. What part of us is actually here? And you won't even believe how simple it is, you know? What part of your soul? So when I say what part of your soul is like, what part of your being, because we're not even a soul, we're a divine being. Actually, we're really an interdimensional being of love and light, you know, powerful. So what part of your being, your soul, is here that actually came through the tunnel, that came through, you know, and ended up in mom's tummy, you know? What part of you is here? Nope. Not our consciousness. Nope. Because we are pure consciousness, period. So that's... Nope. One more time. Let's see who you got. Let's see what we got. I love it though. Well done, guys. No, it's our personality. Okay? It's our personality that's in this body that makes you laugh, that somebody says, I just love you for who you are, right? It's our personality that's here. Okay? And that personality has been built up over lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So when you think that your personality is... Have you ever heard about those old Soviet experiments where the plants... No, I haven't heard about that. But regardless, it's your personality. Over thousands of lifetimes, some of you hundreds of lifetimes. Some of you may be on your third or fourth experience here, you know, but it's your personality that's driving this. It is you. It's part of your consciousness, part of your being, but it's only a smidge. You know, it's like when you make those sugar cookies and you sprinkle the sugar over the top. That's all that's in this vehicle. It's your personality. So, and that's what drives it. And that's our consciousness. So when we meditate, when we go within, because everything that we ever needed is within us. Do you think it's possible you're wrong about... Is it possible? Nah. No. I am continuously having very immersive spiritual experiences here. And am I wrong? No. And how do I know? I just... Hey, Tian, how are you? I am live. So, and there's some of you... Well, there's nothing artificial about... I mean, everything in this physical realm is artificial, basically. It's not real. I mean, basically, this is a hologram. The Earth is a hologram. So let's go back to the beginning. I love you too. I do, with all my heart and soul. So let's go back. So this might explain something to you too. I was thinking about this today at work, and I was like, okay, we're going live. So remember in the beginning when I talked about fear in my video, when we come from oneness, right? We're all one. And when I mean all one, we're all one. We are exactly the same, okay? Might have a different color hue, Father gave us different colors for us, and so we might look a little different there, but other than that, we're the same makeup, love, light, and energy. So let's go back to fear. Where did fear originate from, okay? So remember when I said we're all one. So we decided we wanted more, right? We wanted to know more. Like if you were to tell a soul that never came down here, what's hot? Describe hot. Now you all know what it's like to be burned. It sucks, right? But try and tell that to a new being that has never been burned. And when they say, well, I want to be, I want third-degree burns. We're like, whoa, hold on. We don't know what that is. So when we decided to step away from Father, how do you believe your experience has changed your life? Oh, in every way possible. Every way possible. I have never been more humble, full of love, a love that doesn't exist here. I never would have started this channel. I never would have started talking about the experience. It has driven me down a different path. I've begun to, I have listened to my guidance system now. Remember, I was going to do a video on the 2 keys, but you beautiful people keep throwing stuff out there. So your guidance system is taking you where you need to be. We've learned to boo-poo it. I've learned to listen to it. You have soul families, absolutely. And I'm not just talking from, what you would consider your grandparents, or some of you, if your parents have transitioned home, a child. Yes, they are your, there's your soul family, right? But that soul family goes deeper. And I'm not just talking like 7 generations in this line, but I'm talking, you have a soul family from when you started out originally and another planet. So that makes you an alien, because you're not a humanoid figure, right? So you have soul families, everybody, all right? Deep soul families. So when you go home, your family, hundreds, if not thousands of beings are going to be waiting for you, and you know them instantly, okay? And they're welcoming you home. Or basically, you're waking up from your dream and you come home, your personality, your ball of energy leaves and goes home. It's done, and we have no love of these bodies, these vehicles, okay? It's like snakes shedding their skin. That's it. We shed these bodies like snakes shed their skin. It's simply an old vehicle. We're done with it and we go. So, but anyways, this will blow your mind when I say this. So when we decided to step away from Father, which, by the way, again, is physically impossible, who does not have an NDE to get a glimpse of the afterlife? Sure. My family are. Yeah. Yep. I'm good. How are you, hon? I'm fantastic. Welcome. I do too. It's like right now we're being watched by the Pleiadians, another humanoid species. But they are much higher up on their evolution, okay? They eat very, very little, and they look like us. They sleep less and less, but they're a far advanced civilization. But they have been watching us with great intent. And in the mid '80s, I think it was like '82 or '84, where we were almost wiped off. Father said, enough of you guys, but we, believe it or not, turned it around. And now we are in the great awakening of our consciousness. And to all of you listening right now, it's going to get crazy this year, okay? And you might think you're going nuts, or you're tired, or you're sick, or whatever. You're going to be transitioning, and it may cause you to feel sick. It may cause you to be tired. You may miss work for a week. Sound souls can separate themselves from God's source for a bit. Such souls, I can't see that. It goes away too quick. Live chat, let's see. Some souls can separate. Right. How, if all, can such souls? That's a good question. When I say realms, this can be a realm in between my hands, right? So if we're over here and there's another here, there's a realm above you, below you. I mean, in every direction there are different realms. and we access them with ease. Remember in the Bible, I do believe, I don't know where it was, when the mob was after Jesus and Jesus walked around the corner and they came around and he was just simply gone. He just simply walked into another dimension, ladies and gentlemen. And then when he walked out of that dimension, he walked out into his own home. Okay? Being multidimensional is, nothing new for any of us. We're trying to get there as a species, and that's what coming here is about. We're trying to find ourselves. That's the whole point of all of this, right? So when Jesus found himself, he is never, I can't say that, incarnated into a normal full life. Jesus walks this earth every day. He'll incarnate in some way into somebody, or male, female, whatever, and be there for, hey, how are you? Right? And to see if that person smiles or acknowledges them back. So we can come here at any point in time, but Jesus will never have a full life like this again. He doesn't have to. He did it all. He's a higher dimensional being now than what he was when he was here. And the only reason you know of his existence because of what he did during his last incarnation. You don't know the other 2,000 to 3,000 lives that he had prior to this, So when Jesus says, you're no different than me, he's speaking the truth. So, but anyway, in all of your spiritual journeys, have you seen anything that would? No. But World War III is coming. World War III will be a conventional war. It won't be nuclear. But it will take the lives of millions. And it will go as long as World War II did. So what was it, 7 years? And in between that time, or in that time, millions and millions of beings are going to die. But after that is when the big change is going to come. Now, we can stop World War III from happening, ladies and gentlemen, and that is through one thing and one thing only, through love, okay? Through love. The person in China is no different than you. The person in Guam or in South Africa or in Norway or Sweden is no different than you. None. It is sad because we can stop this war. This doesn't have to happen. I mean, the non-physical knows it's coming. I know it's coming. And they say in about 150 years, and to me, that's too long. It's coming. Your grandchildren, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a Gen Xer, so I'm going to be 54 next month. Your grandchildren might die in the war, But if it is, even if we're 60 years from now, that makes me 100, more and more people are living into their, triple digits. Is it possible that you might even see it? Absolutely. It's quick. It's coming very, very quickly, okay? And we need to stop it because we can't have this. We cannot, we have to change our contracts. In other words, I cannot even step on an ant or a bug anymore. I can't kill anything. Everything that is alive has a soul. It's a being. And to crush that or snuff that out is something that I simply just cannot do. I will not. And I don't want to see any of you lose, grandchildren or have a family. We have to stop this. And we have to stop it through love. And that's where you all come in, right? If we love one another unconditionally, it doesn't matter. If we love unconditionally, there will be no war, there will be no hate, there will be no violence or anger. There will be only love. But if the war takes place, after the war, governments will change. There will be world peace. There will be no more wars. There will be no more hate, anger, any of that. But why do we have to go through millions of beings dying a horrible death for that to happen? Do I have any? I've had some blowback, yeah, and that's okay. I knew it was going to come from my family. They all grew up as Christians, except for my parents. I've never seen them in a church. As you all know, I chose a very difficult life, okay? I chose it for a reason. I haven't spoken to my parents. I haven't spoken to my father in probably 30 or 40 years, and my mother a good 10. So, I can't really answer that too well, unfortunately, but I know that when I spoke to or heard some families say, Jason's gone off the deep end, he's kind of nuts. I'm like, that's okay. No, but I feel it coming very quickly. I know my time here in Wisconsin is almost over, and I've been when I'm meditating, I tell them that I'm ready for the change. But you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, when change comes, it's kind of at the last minute, like when you're actually in need of it, right? So when Michael left me the last time right down the road over here, he said, "You'll hear from me soon." Okay. Yeah. Your guides are always speaking to you. You've all learned to shut it out. Okay. And when I say, and I'll be the first one to raise my hand, I shut that out. We gave the reins to the ego, and the ego's been running our lives for millennia. Well, it's time for all of you to take those reins back, take control of your life, own it, and tell him to, go take a hike, meditate, commune, start talking to the non-physical, even out loud like this. I tell them all, when I have moments at work, I am truly blessed. I love you. Thank you. Gratitude, ladies and gentlemen, even no matter where you are in your life right now, be grateful for what you have. And if you want more, tell the genie in the bottle, the non-physical. It's the genie in the bottle. You want $5 million, you're going to get $5 million. Be specific on how you want it, how you're going to get it, So, but be grateful for what you have. And even though you're going through a difficult time, that neighbor down the road could have just lost both their kids in a car accident. People are going through so much worse, and you don't really know that because you're caught in your own crap, right? But be grateful for it and then say, you know what? I'm better than this. I want more. So anyways, but I'm going to give you a great example of something that was given to me today by the non-physical. So imagine this, right? Can you tell him to come by me, please? Well, ladies and gentlemen, your angels are around you all the time. Whether you're in the shower, on the pot, whether you're in bed sleeping, your guides, your archangel is with you from the moment you were conceived and you came into being. They were assigned to you. They will never leave, ever. And yes, there is going to come a time, the more spiritually awakened you become, the more you're going to see from your guides and the angel. You'll be able to have those conversations. You'll be able to hear and understand them. Everything is within you. Okay? It all comes from you. You are the creator of your world. Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions create what you see every single day. If you don't like it, change it. And that means if you don't like the way your body looks, change it. Have any of you ever told your body, thank you? Have any of you kissed your body and said, I love you, thank you for allowing me this experience? Have you? I do it all the time. I'm beyond grateful. I kiss myself all the time. I love myself. I hug myself and thank my body for allowing me to walk around in this physical realm. So if you don't like something with yourself, change it. You have that power. Tell your body, hey, I don't like the way this looks. Let's work on this. Your body will start to work on it. And I'm not kidding. I know that sounds crazy to you, but because you think that this is a solid body. It's not. It's simply a hologram. Rod, my buddy. Thank you. I try, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, Rod is a untethered consciousness. I encourage you to go to his channel too. He reached out to me and I was his first NDEer on his channel. And as he was doing his, lives and stuff, no one would show up. So he's sitting there talking to him. And so anyways, I jumped on his channel and brought more and more people into his network, and and his channel has exploded, and he has some awesome guests on there. So I encourage you, Untethered Consciousness with Rod Bland, fantastic gentleman. He helped me get this YouTube channel set up. He helped me get everything set up that I could run, and I am eternally grateful for him. And that's all I need to say. He's a beautiful being, and I'm honored. So anyways, back to what I'm trying to get to. It's like fear and guilt, right? Is when we decided to step away from consciousness, but we can't. Why? We are God. So it's physically impossible to separate ourselves from that, right? So we came up with the idea to dream, right? So in that moment, man, I'm utterly honored. I'm utterly honored. So when we decided, Father in his undying love for us said, okay, I quit my eyes. You have to have undying faith that when you give something to the non-physical, that they have your back. Okay? That's where faith comes in. So when I meditate and I give my needs to Father, to Jesus, I know they have my back without question. Does it mean you're not going to fall? You might not lose your job. Well, that's part of the process of awakening, right? You may be moving into the path that you need to be in, which is where I'm at now. My whole life has changed. So don't worry about any of that. Trust the process. You may be like, why am I going down this? It doesn't matter. You are not your body. Your soul chose this path. So trust it, all right? Trust that, that's where you got to tell the ego to go to bed, to take a hike, right? Because your soul is pushing you, your GPS, your guidance system is taking you where you need to be. It may not be where your physical mind wants to go, but, oh well, So trust the process 100%. And don't ever think twice about it. Like when I give something to the non-physical, they have it, and I know they do. So, and everything will come when you need it, when it is meant to be there. We as a species have become very impatient, right? We want things now. Well, here in the physical, it takes time. They just don't show up. We're not that powerful yet where we can, like Jesus, can make, anything just appear out of nowhere. We're not there yet. I'm not there yet. But anyways, fear and guilt. Going back, because this is very important. I want you to understand this. You know it all as the Big Bang theory, right? So when we decided to go to sleep and dream, what happened? 5 billion years ago. Boom! The universe, planets, suns, stars, everything. This is everything that you see in the night sky, everything that you see here now is your dream, ladies and gentlemen. You're dreaming this. You created it. Once we fell asleep, boom, the universe was born through love. And then we were allowed to go into the sandbox and play, right? And here we are. It's a beautiful thing. Well, that's the beginning of the universe. And is the universe real? No. Why? We're dreaming it. This is all a multi-dimensional dream that we're all having, and we're all interconnected in it. So, there are no coincidences. They just don't exist. The people that come into your life and affect you the way that they do is for a reason. You've asked them to. And they're here doing what you've asked them to do. So like, I'll use Rod as an example. I'm not going to give too much about it, but he comes from the land down under, right? So out of nowhere, I get this, email. I'm so honored. Thank you. I am so honored. So he contacts me and we do it, right? But out of nowhere, being the first on his channel and watching his channel explode and grow, I am so honored. And every time I catch his live stream, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, So that wasn't a coincidence that he reached out to me, okay? It wasn't. Even though he's in Australia and I'm here, we still found each other. How? We were meant to. So, and it's not a coincidence. So look at those things in your life. So pay attention to your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention to them. They're so powerful. But anyways, when we fell asleep, the universe came into existence. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? When you can start to see and feel and understand the truth of who you are. You are all divine beings of immense power and love. Immense power and love. Literally, ladies and gentlemen, you have the power to make the stars bow to your will. Okay? They will bow to your will. Right? You have God and you have us. We're the same. Oneness, right? You're welcome, hon. You're welcome. What was I going to say? That was a beautiful comment. What can I say? What was I saying? I forgot. Anyway. You guys, questions. What do you got for me? Throw something down there. Next video is going to come out. I am going to do it on the book of Revelations, even though, we all know that, God isn't human. There is no vengeful God. Any conception on the validity of likes of tarot and crystal effects? No, I've heard that crystals do have healing properties to them, all right? But you have that own healing property within you. You would be awesome to be interviewed on the Next Level Soul with Alex. Well, give it to Alex. Put it out there for Alex. And if he wants to have me on, send him over. I am meeting with a publisher tomorrow for my book. So you guys should probably have the book out sometime or see it sometime this year, probably late summer. How can you communicate well? First is to... Well, you remember, look at this. Is the earth alive? Right? Is Mother Gaia alive? Meaning, does the earth have a soul? The answer to that is yes. So if Mother Earth is alive, that means everything is alive, right? The rocks, the crystals, the trees, the grass, the birds, the bees, everything here is alive. So when a rock wants to find you, believe it or not, that rock will find you, okay? And it'll be yours. And crystals are the same way. Let's say if you walk into a crystal shop and you're just looking, that crystal will pick you. It has the same energy, the same vibe, and not necessarily a soul, but it does have those healing properties. And some people feel really good, with them around. So, I believe that. So, but how can we communicate with our guides and our archangel? Talk to them. They're with you. And how do we talk to the non-physical? Remember, the non-physical will not come down into the lower realms. Will not. Okay? So what they're waiting for is a crack in the armor, right? They're waiting for that chink where you're in an emotional state, you're in a needy state, and then they can come flooding in. But the best thing to communicate with your guides and your archangel is through meditation. Talk to them. Say, Michael, my guides, please, talk to me, communicate with me. What's your names? You're not going to get it right away. I do love her too. But most people get frustrated with meditating because it takes practice. It takes time. We came here to work. They're not going to do the work for you guys. They will not do the work for you. Okay? They understand that you're tired. They understand that you've worked. They understand. It doesn't matter. I'm up every morning at between 3 and 4 o'clock. The non-physical wakes me up. I'm up. I don't have to be to work till 8 o'clock in the morning, but, you know, today I was awoken at exactly 3 o'clock, up. What do? Get up, take a shower, and I come out and meditate. I might meditate for half an hour. It might take me 20 minutes, a little longer. I lay down, and I'm still feeling that love. I'm still talking to them. We all want them to talk back louder. But what is that? What are you trying to do? You got to raise your energy. Excuse me. How do we raise our energy, ladies and gentlemen? Through love, through empathy, right? Through meditation. Go within, right? Remember, you're not the body. So when you go within, you find yourself. Does Archangel Michael have to fight anybody? Are there demons or ghosts or any of that? Does God need an army? Is there a chosen people? No, ladies and gentlemen. There is no hell. There is no heaven. Heaven doesn't exist. That's just something, once again, that the church made up, right? We come from a different dimension, all right? And Earth is in a much lower vibration. That is why we need these bodies. Okay, that's why we need these spacesuits, essentially, to get around in this realm. So Michael doesn't need to fight anything. Angels were simply created, guides, angels, whatever, archangels, to protect us. Okay, God is God, and then we're God, right? So, and then the angels come down here. What do the angels do? They protect us. They guide us. They're with us from our inception. They will never leave, ever. So Michael doesn't need to fight anybody. But that's a mythical thing that the church made up. Michael doesn't need to fight. He's just an archangel. He's, the head of, the archangels. And he's delegated duties just like the other, Ariel, and everybody else. Gabriel, they're assigned to you, or there's 7 archangels and so far 8 billion of us. Well, they can manifest 8 billion different versions of themselves. So it's Michael doesn't need to fight anybody. He's simply protecting us, like Gabriel, as Ariel, all of them. So no, there's no need for wars, or there's no fighting, or there's no demons or anything like that. It's just trash that the church unfortunately created 2 millennia ago, and it has been the standard ever since. But more and more of you are waking up to the fact that 1 and 1 isn't adding up to 2 anymore, right? It's not. You've heard so many different stories. You've heard me, you've heard others and others and others and others, and they're all the same thing with minor differences, right, in experiences. So how is that possible? So, you guys are coming to the conclusion that, I don't have to be afraid because there's nothing to be afraid of. Fear doesn't exist. How can you release guilt? Do you believe in hell? Because that's where guilt comes from. So you believe in hell. If you believe in hell, then, then hell is real. Then you can create and conjure the demons. Remember, you are the creator of your own world. So if you're having trouble not believing in hell, who do you ask for? So in a meditation, say, Father, I'm having troubles. I cannot get over this. I need your help. My guides, please, ask for help. They're waiting to pounce on you to help. But I had, I went to the top of the line with my NDE. So I instantly knew there's no hell. It doesn't exist. So for all of you who are struggling with it, let it go. How do you let it go? It's like when you chop an onion. Just chop it off. Let it go. It's serving you no good. It's keeping you living in fear. And that's why I started the channel. 101, and you helped me through a difficult time. I found you. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When we did our one-on-one, I, I, I was humbled beyond comprehension. I was infused with a love that is not of this realm, of this world. And through my own awakenings after my NDE and starting to listen to my guidance system, starting to let love lead the way, it has profoundly changed my world. And I know, why I came here, what I came here to do, which was to be a teacher, to help. It was unfortunate. It took me 50 years to do, to do it in my own death, but here we are. And I have, how do I put it, touched so many lives. And I'll say this, I was terrified to tell my story. Is there any broader spiritual implications to the recent? No, not really. We're just evolving. There's nothing to be afraid of AI. How many people have an Alexa in the house? Here, listen to this. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 46 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right now, it's 46 degrees Fahrenheit.
35 degrees.
It's a good thing that AI is coming, right? Because what is it? It's a sign of a higher intense consciousness, right? Well, what are we going through right now? A huge consciousness shift. Weird shit is going to be happening into 2025, a little bit of 2025. You're going to see a lot of strange things. So no, AI is perfectly normal. Ladies and gentlemen, Star Wars and Star Trek exists. Okay? They exist. Interdimensional travel. They can only travel to and affect other higher forms of civilizations, right? You cannot mess with a lower civilization. There are civilizations in our Milky Way galaxy, hundreds of thousands of civilizations right now. Some of them haven't even invented the wheel or found fire yet. Now, are we further up than them? Absolutely. Can we go and interact with them? No. Why? Because we would be, speeding them along. That's their mission. That's their job, is to do that, right? Just like we're inhabiting this humanoid species. So AI is a good thing. It's going to be helping us, kind of like in the Millennium Falcon when he's talking to the computer and stuff. Yeah, it's coming, and there's no stopping it. We are advancing quickly and rapidly, and we might even look a little different. So let's say some of us in the next 30 years, say next 20 years, most of us, go home, right? Next time we come here, the world will be at peace. There will be no wars. There will be no hatred. There will be no, any of the stuff that we're going through. The earth will be, in harmony and at peace, world peace. So when we come here, the world will be a much different place than what we have now. But you and I and all of us listening right now, we are laying the foundation for our future selves and our future families to enjoy the peace of world peace. And then Earth will no longer be a free will planet. It will not. It will be just like where we started out. We'll still feel connected to home. We'll still feel Father. We'll still feel Jesus. We'll still feel all the ascended masters. And then another Father will pick another planet to be free will. And guess where we're going to want to go? So AI is a good thing. It's coming, and it's not going to go away. So there's nothing to fear. iRobot is not going to take over. That's pretty cool, though, that you thought of that. But AI is a good thing. We are evolving. We are becoming smarter. So, and that is a good thing. But while that's taking place, it seems like the world is going to take, it's going to be in a humongous shit show. And that's true. It is. But, without sacrifice can't come great change, right? So that's what's taking place right now. What else have you guys got for me? Throw down for me. We got about 15, 20 minutes left. We talked about that. We talked about the separation. AI. What else? Throw something down for me, guys. What we can talk about. Again, well, I guess we can get on the topic of the book of Revelations, the greatest lie ever told, right? So it seems so many people are just still stuck on this. Jesus was written out of the Bible. His true message of what he was doing and what he was teaching, what I'm doing and what I'm teaching you, and any NDEer is teaching you, is who we are, how powerful we are, okay? And that is what he was teaching. And for that, he was put to death. So what I'm trying to teach all of you is how extremely important you are here right now, no matter what you are going through. And I know some of you are going through some very difficult times. I understand it and I feel it. And I want you to know that you are right where you need to be. I know that sounds crazy. And I know that sounds like, well, how, I'm suffering with this. Do UFOs exist? There you go. Of course. Like I said, Star Trek and Star Wars is very real. This is just the dimension we're in. There are trillions of different dimensions, different galaxies, different universes, different everything, all right? So if somebody sees a UFO, what's really taking place is that they matched that energy of that different realm, right? And so they're able to see something, but we're not allowed to be we're not to be interfered with, so to speak. So what was he saying? Do the UFOs exist? Yeah. There are hundreds of thousands, millions and trillions of civilizations out there, ladies and gentlemen. We're just not allowed to see them because we're not allowed to be interfered with. Yes, they exist. Absolutely. Don't think that, that we're just the cat's pajamas and we're the top dog. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not. We're maybe about halfway up the ladder, if that. So don't think that we're to your channels, but other NDEs and... Hold on, guys. I got it. The chat doesn't come up for me right away. Some of our content creators will use a lot of... Yeah, well, I don't, I keep it real with you guys. I'm not putting up a bunch of signs behind me and oh this and oh that. I want you to wake up, okay? I want you to realize who you are and how loved you are and how powerful and creative you are. That you don't have to sit there and suffer. Go within. Ask the non-physical for help. Create, literally manifest a new world right in front of your own eyes. You can. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Not like Jesus could make it happen overnight or heal somebody or raise the dead. We're not there yet. We're not that, we're that powerful. We haven't found it yet. I know where it is. I'm working on it. But make no mistake about it. You are extremely needed here. How do I deal with the people that are... I love them unconditionally. And, whether they listen to me and they look at me like, it's like they're not there yet. That's okay. And that is perfectly okay. They will be. They're going to go through the transition. Nobody will be left behind, whether that's a 2-month-old infant or a 99-year-old man or woman. They're going to go through that change. Doesn't matter. And those that are on this realm, that are in this realm right now and on this planet we're kind of like the special forces, okay? Like the Navy SEALs and Delta Force and all that, right? We are revered back home, okay, in the non-physical, because we are the bravest of the brave to come into this realm, to be cut off from home, to be cut off from the love, to be cut off from Father, from Jesus, from everything, and to basically at times suffer horribly. Car accidents, loss of a finger, loss of a child, the heartache, the, whatever it is. We are revered. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're just a species, okay? And not I'm saying we're not. What this humanoid thing that we're in, is simply that. It's a species. There are, as far as I know, 6 other different humanoid species. Were similar looking, but kind of different. Like when you saw, what was that movie? I can't think of it. It was a good thing though, where they were trying to find the origins of our existence, and they traveled out and they found another humanoid species. But there are species out there, the Greys. We've been a Gray. In some instances, we've existed as just consciousness, where we're being taken care of. It might look like a fish, it might look like a lion or a tiger. There's trillions of different species out there that we can interact with. Right now, this just happens to be the hardest and the most difficult and the greatest challenge in helping us grow spiritually. Yes, absolutely. I would love to chat with other, like Raymond Moody. I would absolutely love to chat with him. I never read his book, um, but Kenneth Raymond, yeah. I would absolutely love to, because I could sit down and talk with them about anything and everything, because I've had that experience and I'm continuously having those experiences um, here constantly. You know, I'm seeing more and more flashes of light go by, and I'm like half apparitions. Like I was going to the bathroom and I happened to look, and across my bedroom I saw half of a white robe walk by. I'm like, all right, we're here, you know. And that goes back to, I think, the fact that now I am meditating. And when I changed realms a couple weeks ago, I rose a little higher, and that was the vacuum that I felt, and all tingly and dizzy. And that's when I started seeing more and more of my guides who are around me all the time. But yeah, I would love to talk to Raymond Moody and just sit down and have a great conversation. I think it would be beautiful, you know. Just a lot of information to discuss. Like when I did that show with, oh, I can't think of her, and I posted the video here, Trisha Barker. When we did that whole seminar with 7 NDE speakers, and I was one of it, she wanted to reach out to me afterwards. And she had some things that she was feeling about me that, you know, I've also had the premonitions of. So when you can sit down with those individuals that have had those experiences, you can really delve into the deep end. You know, and I'm not afraid anymore. I don't care if somebody said, we're seizing your house and apartment and car, and literally kicked me out the door. I know I'm perfectly fine. There's nothing to worry about, because none of this is real. If none of this is real, why fear? And everybody fears because most everybody still thinks that they are their body. You're not. But yeah. Andrew Wick Ions. Of course. One of my earliest videos that I did was with Williamsburg Friends of Ions. So that video is out there. So I think it's actually in my playlist if you go into my channel, but if not, you know, type in Jason Janis, you know, Williamsburg Friends of Ions, and you'll see that video. And that one was within, you know, the first year after my NDE. I haven't had any experiences other than that then, but I'm in ion sharing groups all the times, like Hawaiian Ions. I'm in there all the time. I've like Untethered Consciousness with Rod Bland, beautiful. I was on his, and several others. Yeah, look it up. That was back in the old schools, you know, so, and I've had more downloads and more information coming. So those are kind of outdated, but yeah, they're out there, you know. So, and you know, my channel is growing, so more and more videos are going to come out. Hopefully this has been recorded so I can, for all those that have missed it, I will put that out there. So we got maybe about 6 or 7 more minutes left. Throw something out there for me, guys. And thanks for showing up. I'm deeply honored, truly honored. I was like, it's about time these guys need to interact with me on a one-on-one level. So, you know, don't be afraid to ask those questions. Do not be afraid. One thing I should have touched is your sexual energy. Are any of you struggling with sexual energy? The next one, I think it's coming this August, and the IONS conference is going to be in Phoenix, in Arizona. I think it's like the second week in August, might be the third week, I'm not sure, but that one I will be going to. You don't have to have an NDE. You know, all of you guys that have found me were drawn to me. One day I appeared in your feed out of nowhere, right? Probably. Why? I was meant to be there. You were meant to see that video. You were meant to find me. Why? You asked me to, you know, prior to us coming along before we got here. So, yeah. Yeah, it's coming this August. I think they do it every year. Last one was just in Boston, and I think it was last October, I think. So this August, it's coming into Phoenix. So yeah, I will probably go, even if I don't speak. Definitely, you know, be there, meet others, and you know, have those profound experiences. Do more lives. These are some. All right, absolutely. If you guys want more lives, we can do more lives. That's not a problem. That is absolutely not a problem. We can get it done. It's not erased. You have your memory, guys. You've just chosen to forget who you are. That's all. Everybody has health issues, okay? And you guys aren't going to like this, but that's okay. It needs to be said. The reason we are sick or get sick, or the reason we have, you know, horrible diseases, it's simply through judgment, ladies and gentlemen, through criticism of others. The way you judge. You judge everybody probably 1,000,000 times a day, or a situation, or this or that. You are not to judge, ladies and gentlemen, for you are not judged. I was not judged, and the more unworthy I felt in my NDE, the more I was loved, okay? You are not judged. The reason we're sick, the reason you have cancer, the reason you have lymphoma, or any of it, is you gave it to yourself through judgment, through, you know, through not loving. It's as simple as that, okay? Take the reins back from the ego, tell the ego to F off, and take control of your life. Have beautiful thoughts, have beautiful dreams, create a beautiful dream. Well, you will have an inexplicably intense feeling of love and a desire to be around these people, okay? It's a connection on that soul level. And, you know, you may meet them, you may not. It may not be in this, you know, incarnation. But most times if you have a soul family or a lover or a twin flame, right, that you've heard talked about, you will find each other. How? You're just, you do. You create your lives, you wrap yourselves around it, and when the time is right, you guys bump into each other. Can it be a pet? Well, your pet has a soul in it, so sure. There's a lot of people that have, you know, merged with their pets and their dogs and stuff. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. Just because they decided to incarnate as a pet doesn't mean that they're any less worthy of a being than, you know, what's inside this vehicle. So sure, absolutely. Absolutely. Remember, you are everything that has ever and will exist. Ever. Sun, stars, sand, rocks, trees, birds, ants, snakes. You are everything. Black matter, black holes. Doesn't matter. You are everything. And that is beautiful. Beautiful. You are everything that has ever and will ever exist. all crammed in right now to this physical body. Remember this. If you know a drop of water and you place that drop of water on your hand, if you stuck your hand in the ocean, right, and you pick that up, you see that one little drop right there, okay? What's inside that one little drop is the entire ocean and everything in it, and that is you. So in order for that ocean to be filled up, not one soul on this earth could not be in there. It wouldn't be full. You know, you are everything that has ever existed and will exist. You're all beautiful beings that I love more than you could ever possibly know. You're beautiful, and none of you have done anything wrong. Have you made some mistakes? I sure have. Yep. Are you judged for them? No. Did you learn from them? Absolutely. Right? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? Well, when we stick our hand on the stove and we burn ourselves, do we stick our hand on the stove anymore? No. And that's why we're here. We're finding ourselves. So to everybody, go within. That's all you need to go. Like tonight when I meditate at probably 10 or 11 o'clock tonight, it'll be dark in here. I will sit in the same spot back, and I will sit there and meditate, and I will simply say, I and the Father are one. You know, heart and mind. Your heart and mind, they're connected, ladies and gentlemen, very strongly. Okay, when I say heart and mind are one, that is absolutely correct. 100%. Your heart and your mind are in cahoots with one another. It means they are connected through something like a string, a wire, but whatever. They are connected. And they talk to each other all the time. So, you know, sometimes if you want a simple meditation that works to get your mind into that, to merge with home, to merge with the non-physical, kind of like our sexual energy, which maybe I could talk about that on our next live. Is the earth flat? Was the great? The dinosaurs actually were here. Yep. We were probably the dinosaurs. Okay. So, did they exist? Yes. Was there a great flood? That sounds like a vengeful God to me. Well, honey, what is good for you? You know, I had bisexual experiences, and when I listened to the Bible and I listened to my pastor, you're going to burn in hell because you are an abomination to your Father and you will just burn. Well, I'm here to say that that is not true in any way, shape, or form, because I've had those experiences. Now, I prefer the equipment that the female body has more than that, but if that situation were to arise again or to happen, sure. Why not? Because why is most of society afraid of being gay? And I even hate using that term, or I'll just use same sex. It's fear. What do you fear? To you, you're reading a book that says it's an abomination, when I'm here to tell you that it's not. But we are to love one another. Right, so I'll get to the flood in a second, hon. So we are to love one another. Is that love just to be limited to, No, we love one another. And if that love turns into a sexual union, beautiful. The non-physical is going to love every minute of it. It doesn't matter if it's same sex. It's love. We are love. We are created out of love, the same love of our Father. So how could it be bad? It's not. It's just misunderstood by those who are afraid, terrified. That's all it is. And if you want to equate a meaning to sin, because sin does not exist. Again, it's a human word that the church created. But if you want to put a term to it, but you know what? Your guides are loving it. The non-physical is loving it. When a couple begins to mate, they are loving every minute of it. And absolutely, don't feel cringy or unworthy. Just know that, they are loving every minute of us mating. But in order to bring a being into this world, it's got to be between a man and a woman. That way the being can come into existence. Now, if they want to try, same sex, good, try it, enjoy it. If it's not for you, then, hey, you've had an experience. You've learned from it. It ain't for me. Or, hey, that's not too bad. Let's try that. So, free your mind, ladies and gentlemen. Free your mind. The rest will follow. Your mind, your ego is convincing you that, going that route spiritually, communing with the non-physical is bad. Why? Well, it's bad for him because you're going to kill him, which is what you want to do. The ego's death is you're striving for that every day. So, meditate, commune with the non-physical, So, and, they're talking to you every night between 3 and 5 a.m. is when you're in your deepest sleep and most relaxed and your walls have come down and they are talking to you. They're communicating with you just like I am with you right now. So don't be afraid by that or think it's kind of weird because you've been watched from the time of your inception into this body. You have been watched and nurtured and cared for. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. But no, getting back to the flood, that would infer the same thing in the book of Revelations, right? Well, once you've incarnated, you're going to finish kind of like I'm not sleeping between those. Well, generally, the non-physical has been waking me up. Like today, I was up at exactly 3 o'clock. When I rolled over and grabbed my phone, I'm like, 3 o'clock? That's because it's the non-physical waking you up. They want you up. They want you aware. And the more you're communing, the more you're meditating, the more, the higher up the ladder you climb. And that's how I found out that I'm not going to be incarnating that much anymore. Maybe 10 lives, maybe 10 more incarnations. And what, that's nothing. So, I'm pretty much done incarnating, But my point is the only reason you stop incarnating once you've started this journey is when you reach Christ consciousness, like Jesus, right? When he was born into his last incarnation, the incarnation Jesus was his last. When he was plunged under the water during his baptism is when he achieved it. No more incarnations, done. And that's the story in the Bible that, Jesus wandered the desert for 3 weeks, right? Tempted by the devil? No. Jesus did, when he was plunged under the water and in that moment of that electricity that entered him at that moment, he was doing one of these numbers, and jerking around. And, could you imagine 2,000 years ago, if somebody they'd think you were possessed and kill you. So he basically hid, offshore from the river in this very heavily wooded and grassed, and he just sat in the trees for 3 weeks, because he was doing one of these numbers, and people would have thought he was possessed and been killed. But that story in the Bible as Jesus wandering the desert for 3 weeks, which again isn't true. How is gay? You're not gay. Okay, let's put it to this way, right? So you're looking at this the wrong way. We are not our bodies, okay? We are genderless. When we exist, have you seen like a plasma ball? Like when you've seen it and all the electricity, that's how we exist. There is no gender, we're genderless. Only when we come into the physical realm, yes, because that is when you are removing all of the physical realm from and you're telling the ego to go to hell, and you are entering into who you truly are. So yes, that's when what the fuck? What do you mean? But anyways, we're not, so getting back to her question of gayness, the non-physical does not care. As long as you are showing love, I love some of my best friends who happen to be male. And when I give them a hug and tell them I love them, does that mean anything? No, you're showing love. So if you want to use your sexual energy as a way to go home with another woman, so what? It's love, and that's all that matters. The non-physical doesn't care. Are you in love with this person? Are you displaying love and showing love and giving love? Are they giving love to you? You're good to go. Doesn't matter. They do not care. Homosexuality does not make a damn bit of difference to the non-physical or home. Does not. So enjoy yourself, hon. Enjoy yourself. Quit feeling guilty. Quit feeling ashamed. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Ever. Ever. If that's who you love, then that's who you love. And that is simply good enough. The non-physical loves it. And they already know that that was going to happen because that's something you wanted to experience. You are absolutely welcome. Thank you guys for showing up. Any particular... Oh, I didn't get to see it. Hold on, guys. I got to find a better way to do this. Any particularly good fields you'd recommend working in when it comes to creating a real positive change in the world? I honestly think... Yes, yes, yes. So to all the hearts, you go, girl. You be you. You guys are throwing a lot of stuff out at me fast, so that's good though. All right, does self-love come? So any field. So like right now, if this is something that, you want to help people with, it could be it could be a doctor, right? It could be what I'm doing. It could be, becoming a teacher. Anything that serves through love to help someone better themselves is the best way to go. So whatever you feel drawn to, this is what I felt drawn to, being a teacher. So, helping all of those who are stuck, helping those that need to be pushed just a little bit more to go, So if I were to draw a circle right here and I'd put like 5 different or say 6 or 8 different doors in that circle, which door do you take? Which is the right door? Out of all of them, which is the right door? And I will tell you this, it's a trick question. Let's see what you got. And to get back to that one question, while you guys are thinking, so self-love does have to come first. Absolutely. Okay? And if any of you have children, or just say children, I'm sorry. I was having difficulty. I've got to go through StreamYard, and for some reason it wasn't working. I couldn't get it going. It was already 7:05. I will work on it this weekend, and I'll get it going up where you guys can actually come in. I will talk with Rod, Untethered Consciousness. He might have to be my moderator for the first time on that, but I didn't want to disappoint you guys, so I just hopped on here. I'm sorry, guys. Self-love has to come first. And it has to come first in every way, every day. You have to come first. It's not being selfish. It's not being belligerent or anything like that. The first thing that I had to learn after my NDE was I needed to love myself and I needed to forgive myself. And the moment I did that, the world exploded. Everything started to happen. Self-love is a must. And that includes loving yourself. So that includes masturbating. So love yourself through and through. If you don't love yourself, how can you love your children or a husband or a grandparent or anything? You can't. It's fake. You're not making it happen. So self-love is a absolute must every day. Find yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself. And then you take that love and you push it out on everybody. Okay, I'm sorry. Wow, I'm sorry. So yes, take care of yourself. Absolutely, it's a must. And if that means you push yourself away from friends, if that means you pushed yourself away from your family because they don't understand you, that's okay. Not only does the non-physical know it's going to happen, but they're knowing that you're taking this seriously, that you are trying to find out who you are, not just plodding away or doggy paddling. What am I going to do now? No, they want to see you take an active responsibility in your evolution as a soul, as a, so self-love is a must. Must. It starts with you and it ends with you. So, that's a very good question. I'm glad you asked that, because that is an absolute must. Most people think, well, that's being vain and you're just, a prude and you're this. No, absolutely not. Find yourself, love yourself, and take care of yourself, love it. And that includes masturbation. Absolutely love yourself, because the non-physical is loving it. I know it sounds weird and it's not what you've been told, but it is absolutely the truth. Love yourself. It's a must. And that was the first time I heard my father speak to me. I heard his words when I was having a meltdown. It's like, you picked the wrong guy for this, man. You needed to pick the Pope, a bishop or somebody, because, and his words will still ring clear and I can still hear them. And they were, why not? You are my son. That was it. That's all I needed. That was it. I fell to my knees. I collapsed. I bawled. I sobbed. And I said, all that I am you. Which is saying, I am God. And I fully understood that. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are God. Each and every one of you. Don't ever forget it. For 1 second, don't forget it. You are God. Of course. I knew that was going to happen. Angrily, yeah. It's like, what did this guy say? He says, I don't believe a word you're saying. You're just making this all up. And there's just been stuff. No, you don't have sexual orientation. You're not a male and you're not a female. The body that you're driving, the vehicle that you're driving is male. You have those male tendencies. You have the female tendencies, right? But who we are in general, we are not our bodies. So we are genderless. There is no, your father, when you think of God, all of you think God as a male figure. He is neither. He will appear to you, when I say he, because I'm thinking of him as my father, God will appear to you the way you need him to. So if you think, how many of you seen the movie The Shack? Beautiful movie. That's a good question. How many of you guys have seen The Shack? Just say something or type in something. And anyway, if any of you have not seen that movie, it's a beautiful movie, and I encourage you to do it, because it explains and shows, okay, so you saw The Shack. So when I get it, I didn't feel like God either, because, through the, you got to remember, I was homeless. I lived in my vehicle. I took a shower in porta potties for 6 months. I've had chronic pain that is now being healed. Like my back pain went from 100 down to a 20. You can heal yourself, and that's the negative energy I want to get you out of. Okay. The more you feel that way and the more you talk that way, and that's okay to talk that way. Absolutely. But that's all lower vibrational energy, right? So what are you going to keep attracting? Watch the movie The Shack. It's a fantastic movie, man. I won't talk about it right now, because I think that's a good thing for you really to see. And I will give you, and I'm not even going to give you a heads up on it. This is a perfect movie for you guys to watch. Perfect movie. But God will appear to you how you need. If you need a motherly figure at that time, Father may come to you as a more loving, well, not more loving, but he may come to you as a motherly figure, or he may come to you as a fatherly figure. Like if you're taking too long to incarnate into your next life, like you're tired, you don't want to do anything, he may come up to you and say, hey, it's time. And, all right. Well, tell your body you're tired of the pain because you control your body, right? You can heal your body. So you tell your body, like I've told before, is like, have you told your body that you love it? Most people don't understand that. They just think that they wake up and they're here and this is what they've got. No, ladies and gentlemen, you are in control of your body. If you don't like the way it looks, fix it. If you're in pain, fix it. Oh man, I'm sorry, bud. Well, you stay positive. I mean, stay positive, stay blessed. Like the first thing in the morning when I wake up, I think I am truly blessed. And ladies and gentlemen, that's really your career, right? If I asked you what your career is, what would you say? Well, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, well, I'm a painter, well, I'm a garbage man, No, that's not your career, ladies and gentlemen. The fact that your eyes awoke this morning and you woke up and you looked around, that is your career. You have the free will to make it the most beautiful day ever, or you have the ability to just completely make it a pile of shit through your thoughts, through your energy. And unfortunately, for over 50 years, I've had a life of shit and pain and agony, and it was all created through me. Man, that doesn't stay up there very long. Give me 1 second. Let me read that for you. How beneficial would you say NGOs like Amnesty International are? I don't know. I couldn't even give you I think the intent is good, right? I think that intent is good. So, but do I put too much in it? No. And you guys got this. It's all in your head. I love you so much, and that's why I started this channel. You control the power to your own health. So how do we stay healthy? Let's stop judging. Who cares whether this person wants to be a transgender? Who cares? Who cares about politics? Is politics real? No. We have to stop judging. That is where sickness and health issues come into effect. We are deeming ourselves better than that other person that, you're judging, because that person you're judging is yourself. So thus, instead of climbing up the ladder, you've climbed down into the lower energy where pain, suffering, heartache, disease, cancer, all of that is. And if that's the way you want to live, then you've got it. But if you want to rise above that, engulf yourself in the highest form of love and energy is through love. Accept it. Okay. Yeah. I was sick for a while, then I lost it, but I started to see myself and started to love myself and started to emulate love. And that's the only thing I will put out. I lost weight. I'm healing my body. It takes time. Could be. I think all my health issues were from feeling unworthy my whole life. I had to go back recently, and we'll probably leave it at this because it's past its time for this live, but we can do it again if you guys want. Is that through judgment comes unholiness, unworthiness, and you're just going to keep climbing down the ladder. I believe people should stop. Well, I will tell you this. I will no longer ever vote. I'm done. I will not take part in a make-believe system that breeds inhumanity. You know, there are millions of people. Remember that I died 7 months ago. Of course they can. Your mom can see you, of course. Your mom's probably sitting right next to you on the couch, just in another dimension. Absolutely, they can see us. They interact with us all the time. And most definitely, like in my NDE, when I left, when I was saying, you know, please don't take my daughters from me, the moment I left, I knew my daughters were right where they needed to be, even though they weren't with me, and that they loved me and they were doing their own thing according to their own way. But yes, the whole non-physical, all of home can see us. Yeah. The love that I'm speaking about, though, is a love that none of you are prepared for. I mean, you are all woefully unprepared for what you are about to experience and feel. It is just something that cannot be put into words. It really can't. So, this is for all of you. I'm going to end it tonight. Chris, you should my name. Oh, you guys are beautiful. You make me laugh. I love you guys. All right, so I've got some things to do tonight, and I'm going to go. Thank you all for showing up. I am deeply honored. I am deeply honored. So, put some comments in here, or, you know, in one of my videos or whatever, what you guys want me to talk about next. The next one coming out this weekend, I will do it on the book of Revelations. Probably won't be that long, but, you know, it'll be something that, you know, I'll tie into the greatest lie ever told, you know, about the Bible. So, but if you guys have comments, questions, or concerns, you want me to cover something into more depth, I can surely go into, you know, I was going to talk about the unforgivable sin, you know, the outright rejection of the Holy Spirit. So that video will be coming out, other things as well. So put those topics down there, because I need you guys. You know, oh, I love you too, hon. Thank you so much. I love you all so much. You are all welcome, and I am deeply honored that I've been able to touch you the way I have. I truly am. When I sit here at nights and think about all of you and how much I love you, and it's just like, that's why I started this channel, so you can all awaken with me, so you can all grow, so you can all one day all of a sudden just like, wow, you know, I want you to have beautiful dreams. I want you to be in beautiful health. I want you to have the most excellent time here and to not regret anything. Because I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, you will regret. Because there's going to come a time when your eyes don't open up anymore. You're done. And if you didn't tell that person you love them, if you didn't give your child a hug, if you didn't tell the woman of your dreams or the man of your dreams that you love them, you may never get that chance, and you can never come back into this timeline and change it. So I'm asking each and every one of you to rise above and to love unconditionally, to forgive unconditionally. And if there's someone in your life that you want or that you need to talk to them, if they don't want to reciprocate, that's okay. That's just something that they need to do. But I don't want any of you to have any regrets about anything in your life. Live in love. Live in love. And you will see the most beautiful dreams come true for you all. I love you all so very much. Thank you. God bless. I hope you have a blessed weekend and a beautiful week. And if you want more lives, put them in the comments, and I would be more than happy to, because this was actually very fun. I was be able to speak more clearly and more directly to all of you. So you guys have a blessed evening. I love you so very much, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.